Objection!
You gotta admit, it's a pretty good editing job. Like, there's almost no seams whatsoever. You know? Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hope you're having a great one. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I finally realized that's relevant again. Because, or that's relevant in general, I should say. I was always like, where is that sprite from? Whoops. I was always like, where is that sprite from? The way the music changes and gets louder, literally. It's just a good meme. It's just a well-constructed meme. I can respect that. It's good stuff. Anyway, today we're going to be playing more Investigations. And this is actually, at the time, just a fun little bit of trivia for you. When this came out, it was actually the earliest case chronologically. And it will not be dethroned until the second Investigations game comes out. There's actually a case in there that takes place before this. And then, of course, there was the Great Ace Attorney, which is like a long time before anything else in the series. So we're just talking pre-Great Ace Attorney. Yeah. Yes, very interesting. So, this is Turnabout Reminiscence. This is actually going back to right around when Miles started practicing as a prosecutor. Like the very first case, basically. Before his first trial, yeah. You'll see the details, but yeah. I didn't spoil myself, I promise. I only know the very basic beats of what's going on here to set up the story. You could call it Turnabout. Wait, Turnabout TBT? Wait, what does that mean? What is TBT? Okay. Let's get set up here. Give me just a moment. Feel free to get settled in while I do this. Make sure my turn back time. Oh, really? I've never heard that, I don't think. I believe you. I've just personally always heard, like, flashback. Turn back Tuesday. Throwback? Are you thinking of throwback? I never heard turn back. I've heard throwback. But maybe it's like some kind of regional thing. Throwback Thursday. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I've heard stuff like that. Folks have pointed out that Edgeworth's characterization kind of doesn't match his snotty jerk characterization from the AA3 flashback case. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe there was a little bit of a retcon there. I think he should be allowed to be a little snotty jerk, honestly. I support Miles' wrongs. It's fine. We're good. Okay. So then, I'm just going to make sure. I think this is good. Yeah, that's good. Let me know if anything is weird with the audio. This game is weirdly loud. Kay Faraday. The young lady who calls herself the second Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. Miles, yeah. 7 years earlier. Yeah, 7 years ago. Every other case in this game takes place in the same 3-day period, except for this one. Oh, who's that? Wait, Who are these people? Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. I asked the defendant, just what exactly are you trying to say? Don't you get it? I know the true identity of the Yatagarasu. Who's she? I kind of like her. She's a baddie. The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy. Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu? Oh, Mr. Faraday. Mr. Rell, I think we've heard just about enough out of you. Hi, Dustbird. Welcome. Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth. You've got to believe me. No, dude. It's Jover. I love the pixel judge. This is awesome. We'll never see this again. A new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. Dang, we're actually in the court in one case. In one flashback of this case. That's pretty cool. Okay, September 10th. 7 years ago. Ooh, the duds though. Ooh, kind of working. Ooh. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be... Meanwhile, Wright accuses Von Karma being the killer, and they just roll with it. Yeah, the dark age of the law, baby. As a replacement for a prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant. Yeah, they are. I remember that. Yeah, oh, that's cool. Edgeworth. Oh, there he is. Smelly man himself. Oh god, I'm scared. Side profile Von Karma, jump scare? I'm scared. Have you read over all the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred Von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. He's so high definition. I understand, sir. He's so airbrushed. It's almost like he's been airbrushed. He looks a little too good. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage of my career, I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Adam Sandler, literally that one Adam Sandler meme. Yeah, exactly. He's not wrinkly enough. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. He can be smoother. He should be smoother. I don't want to see a single wrinkle on that face. Yes, sir. Oh man, the slow fade out. That such a legendary prosecutor is watching over and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way. Yeah, make him an egg. He's also got to be bald. I need this man to be bald. I need to peel this man. Okay. We're in a room now. Let's check out what we got going on here. Hi again. Ah. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm just afraid of crossing this guy. That's like no pressure. Oh, hey, here's your first prosecutor case. By the way, he's gonna like be there and be watching. No pressure, it's fine, don't worry about it. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor, Byrne Faraday, gave the order. Ha! Faraday is such a fool. He's been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Byrne Faraday? He is a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those who cannot be brought to court? That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to even deal with such individuals. Oh, wait, so... Oh, I get it. He was like, maybe the... That's interesting. He was actually kind of trying to change the law system a little bit. But he got stamped out somehow. A prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to deal with such individuals. I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday has will not be forgiven. Have no fear, I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused prosecutor Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of Von Karma. I think you might be projecting a little bit there, buddy. So, have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you are talking about. Understood. Ooh. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Kodopian embassy. The victim, Mr. Dead Man? Oh my god, it's Dead Man. I never thought I would ever see him. Dead Man. Yeah, it's a cool flag, isn't it? I like the flower. I like the butterflies and the vines on it. He's here. We found him. He was a staff member at the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mackrell, really Mackrell, was held for questioning the night of the incident, as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. One shot at life named Dead Man. It's so true. Man. I mean, the other guy's name is Mackrell, so, you know, what chance did he really have in the end either, right? Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatakarasu had successfully infiltrated the Kodopian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yatakarasu, but that means that he did not kill a dead man. Yeah, I do love fish. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down while in the spotlight if he is found guilty. There's truly no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecutor presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rel as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rel firing the gun could be clearly seen from the visitors' gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatakarasu, Byrne Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to simply be the murder of a Kodopian embassy staff member, people are actually referring to it as the second KG-8 incident. The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, it's information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? Okay, let's talk about that. Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. You have heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano Group's director, was arrested under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Kodopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Kodopian by the name of Manny Cochin. However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? If only I was in charge of the case, I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty, my mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was as pathetic as ever. Foreshadowing. I'm still thinking about that line. Wow, he's so dedicated. Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG8 incident as well. That's right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against that smuggling organization. And just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. Okay, we're good. I thought I lost YouTube for a second there. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG8 incident. So that's why it is being called the second KG8 incident. Yes. Yet there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu? I'd better find out more. Oh. If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kadopian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or, more likely, to steal secrets from the Kadopian embassy itself, since the item that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have to be the first time the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG8 incident and the Yatagarasu case, and also somebody said that he is the Yatagarasu? That seems a little weird. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. Oh, hello. Oh, it's Kay. What is it, little girl? You're scary, mister. Boom. I don't think I can recover from that, honestly. Like, you don't come back from that. Did you need something? I want to trade these coins with you. Huh? A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies. But it looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you want? Aw, good guy Miles. Thanks, that's exactly what I needed. Wholesome. Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore? No. Hello. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete. Yeah, get yourself a gumball because you're epic. Why, do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I'm so sorry. I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. Well, it's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. It's time to show off your new model. I'm kidding. Whoa, we're in the courthouse. Cool. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where is Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh, the judge is here and he's walking. Oh my gosh, we're actually seeing full body judge. That's crazy. Oh, you must be the one Mr. Von Karma recommended. Whoa, look at him. Look at this big boy. Look at it. Look at this absolute unit. I love him. I want to give him a big old hug. I can't believe he actually has legs. He's not just floating. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial is about to resume. However, yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar without the evidence from Faraday. What is that blasted buffoon up to? It's an emergency, sirs! Oh my gosh. It's Gumshoe's first appearance. Technically, it's the first. This is the first time Miles meets him. There shall be no yelling in this sacred hall of law. Gumshoe, Gumshoe. Bailiff, remove that man from this courtroom at once. Please, wait. You have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2. Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? What? Honestly, the start of a dynamic duo. Oh, I like these vending machines. Hello? Stay back. Ugh. No one's allowed on the crime scene. Period. Oh, hello. Just who does this oddball think he is? This is becoming quite the hot spot. Isn't she Mr. Rell's defense attorney? Hey, you, no running in the hallway, pal. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. I gotta do it with facts and logic. And you are? Oh, and he's got a different colored coat, too. Who, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a district prosecutor. Prosecutor? I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal. I've told you my name. Now would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe. And just recently, I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream. It's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. Talk to me. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know that I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that, but it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know. Wow, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge. So you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to defendant lobby number 2. So you were the guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot, and then I kind of froze. You're a detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much? I mean, that would scare me too. Then again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one at close range. This really has everything. This is peak Ace Attorney right here. This is the Ace Attorney that everyone jokes about online. This is where all the memes come from. You know what I mean? Then Detective Bad came running to the scene. We went into lobby number 2 together, and both men were lying there, dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion. Okay. He's so bad. I love the detective. He's so bad. I want to talk to you first, though. We're gonna save the bad man for last. Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know, especially at a time like this. I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. Oh, this is Cece. Okay, got it. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madam, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. See, because I can do this. You believe me now? Do not take me for some naive novice. Do not take me for some naive novice. So you're a student of Von Karma. I should have... Those clothes are a dead giveaway. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. Just kidding. I was just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. Oh, are you not Cece then? Is Cece a different person? Or is that like a nickname? And if you're telling the truth, then we were about to go head-to-head in court. But of course, I have heard much about you, Miss Yu. But of course, I have heard much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare. Did I say something funny? Uh-oh, we got a funny girl here. Uh-oh. I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here? It's so funny. It's just the way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine, don't worry about it. She's fun. I like her. What about you, bad man? Sensible Chuckle Monthly. Yeah, she reads the Saturday funnies and she's like, and she just chortles at it. Very, very sensible, like, you know. Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad. Homicide. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So, how did you arrive on and expect the body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Oh, that's good stuff. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here? Crime scene. I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. It's pretty bad. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that? Yeah, he's gonna get in trouble doing stuff like that. Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mackerel, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in this hand. Was there anyone else who went into defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. I guess the game was expecting me to talk to Dr. Bad first, but I ended up going Gumshoe first because I was just so excited to see him. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience. Trial witness. Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu or not. Well, looks like you just might have a brain after all in that head of yours, son. Son? I'm not your son, Pops. He's so offended. Whoopsie. That's my Discord. Miss you. I don't know why I voice cracked there. There is someone here who wishes to see you. Who is it? A Kodopian embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin. Another person working on 5 cases at once. Yeah, that's too much of a caseload for one detective. They need to chill out on that a little bit. Just a little bit. What's going on? Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin... I'll be right there. It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu. Hi, Fox. $6 for a sweet girl. Yeah, what? That's a mark. I bet it's literally like the Little Debbie wrapped ones too. It's not even like a nice homemade one. It's just the wrapped one you can buy at the grocery store for $2 a box. $8 for a sandwich. That's pretty bad. It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu. Why are you here? There was CCU. Cochin was accused of murder but got off going by the paper. Right, that's it. I have no desire to ever see you again. Now. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. Oh, he moving. Bad. He just says bad. Bon karma. It's been a long time. It's literally like the red package Jack Link's jerky too. What in the world? Apollo would be like 8 at this point. Yeah, that's true. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Yatagarasu is involved, and I see this case is no exception. Do you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes, he's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where a detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on though, Bad, the man that I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident? So I was right. Just what is that man doing wandering around here? That Faraday. Can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile. I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes. Von Karma, I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well. Back on topic, I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here. Wait, oh, it's Franzi. Hey! Oh my god, it's baby Franzi. I forgot she was like a kid at one point. I guess we haven't seen her like that then. So so she's like about 11 or 12 here? Okay. Papa, how can you place him in charge? Franziska, what are you doing here? I'm here for summer vacation. What else? 13. Okay, makes sense. Franziska von Karma. So she is here on vacation from Germany. No, little German child, don't go into the car room. She is the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and a student of his, who's also junior to me. You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it. You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you? If you are able to pass, then I'll have absolutely no trouble at all. God, she almost has a little bit of a 3-mouth on this sprite. She's a little sassier. This is the first time we've seen Franzi and Von Karma actually interact. That's true, that's true. Yeah, she's got like a riding crop instead of a whip, which is really interesting. I'll never allow myself to lose to you. Never. Why does she always have to be this competitive? I mean, look at who her dad is. Anyway, Papa, are you really assigning Miles Edgeworth to cover the case? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I am 100% confident that I could do a better job than him. That's just like Franziska. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad. Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. What? You want me to let both of these kids loose on the crime scene? This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. Wait, is Francie gonna join us on an investigation? A crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with the authority over this crime scene, Bad. And I will not tolerate complaining. Edgeworth, Franziska, I leave this case to the two of you. Go investigate a murder. I feel like we probably shouldn't start the child off with murder cases. I feel like Bad might be a little bit right about that. I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me. Hold up, Von Karma. I still haven't agreed to this. Gumshoe's just been watching all this happen. He's just standing there. He's literally doing the standing man emoji over there. Miles Edgeworth. It's been quite some time, Franziska. This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. Would it kill you to at least say hello? A long time no see. Very good. Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud. I don't think we should learn anything from Danganronpa. Hot take. I say that as a fan of the series. She hasn't changed a bit. Miles Edgeworth. As I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Von Karma name. Crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter. Looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective. That's just like him, he never fails. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task. Yes, indeed. It's the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously? Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they are finished talking. You just think if I stand really still, I won't get a pay cut. Yeah. Yeah, his pay is at least somewhat respectable now. He better not do anything to change that, right? What are you talking about? I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. A competition? The person that figures out the truth first wins. So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name? Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish thing come from your foolishly foolish mouth. Fine, whatever makes you happy. Franziska is very funny. She's literally never changed in her entire life. Since day one, she's known exactly what she is. Can I take that as you accepting my challenge? Once again, whatever makes you happy. Ha! Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am. Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish. You kids over there, hold it. Kid? Ha, serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid. I said kids, kid. How dare you call me a kid as well? I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy, you're going to watch over these two? Yes, sir. Detective Bat, sir. Yeah, exactly. Now do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You better not get in our way, Scruffy. The Scruffy thing started early, huh? You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do. Eek! Then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Now even that detective is treating me like a child. Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy. My name is Miles Edgeworth. And if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. Oh no, the pay cuts are starting. What? And what would you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? That's up to you now, isn't it? Really? Sounds good, pal. He's so naive. Yay, okay. Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could it have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented? But then why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait, what if it's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence? He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh. Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid. Ugh. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? Looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel that it's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence, so as to ensure the honor of the Von Karma name. Okay, cool. I guess we have free reign now. Something that caught my eye immediately as I came in here was this window. Looks like it's got bars on it. The window is open, and there's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Ugh, the flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly. Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? Well, at least there's no way someone escaped through this window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows? Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one can get through these windows, right? They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice. What about this TV here? Maybe we can watch some cartoons. Maybe we can watch Steel Samurai. Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. Tasty plasma. Evil Gumshoe would be like, someone could have escaped through this window, enemy. My TV at home is so large compared to this one, enemy. And perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. Ooh, let me see here. Wow, this thing is huge. Ah! And way too noisy. You're the noisy one, Scruffy. Don't touch it. You'll get your fingerprints all over it. But I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. Okay, What else have we got on the other side? I guess we should just look at the bodies, right? It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only logical conclusion is, aha! What was that outburst for? If that was meant to be a sort of mentor equivalent for Dick. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Maybe they didn't have time to write that in. My detective instinct just hit me real hard. It was Mr. Rell that fell first, see? You don't need a detective instinct for that. It's common sense. But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I see this baggie full of blood. What's that about? Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know that much, Detective. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally, I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy... Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between two men? Gun. Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So he shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun. I guess that does kind of seem strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? It's not exactly rocket science, even though I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one. I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal. But it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. It appears that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun. Okay. Weapon. What about the knife? Looks like Mr. Rell died with the knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. Then he must have used this as a weapon. Yup, no doubt about it. Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot some notes down about it. Okay. What else have we got? Mr. Faraday, how ironic it is for him to lose his life in a courthouse. Yeah, why did it have to be like this? I don't know what to say. I can't believe this happened while I was on watch, pal. Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time continuing the investigation. Didn't you become a detective in order to solve crimes? Yeah. Then get back to work. First he killed a Kodopian staff member, and then he was murdered. This guy wasn't exactly an angel, you know. Oh, what makes you say that? Well, he's been hauled into the precinct several times for theft and assault, pal. So yeah, he's definitely the type to have committed a murder or two. Well, he did admit to killing Mr. Deadman. Hey, good point, pal. I knew my detective's intuition was telling me something. It's a special feeling that all We don't have time for this conversation right now. Let's return to the investigation. Aww. Aww. Be nice to him. Okay, what's over here? There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Cool. Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know? Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing this off. Can we logic? I kind of feel, I feel like maybe that one. Plastic bags, there's something to do with the plastic bags, for sure. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. I think I missed something. I think I was supposed to like examine the bodies further. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Yeah, it feels like, yeah, they really tumbled in a very specific way, right? But look, there's some ink blotches here. What's that about? His hand is all black down here, see? I wonder what it could be. If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. An ink stain? Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use a feather pen. A feather pen? I've never seen one before. Sure you aren't just making it up, pal? Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death with his body positioned like that. Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail, if possible. What's this? You're not able to form a theory with them the way they are? I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you? I suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it. Labby. Oh, Labby. Okay, that's the forensic guy. Yes, sir, we've taken enough photos of the scene, sir. And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will ya? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Okay. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, so a couple things jump out at me. Let's just start from the bottom and work our way up. There's a knife wound in his chest here, see? I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rell is holding. Labby. Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir. Make it quick. From the look of the things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rell is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. What about this pen here? There's something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen. Hey, you know, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bad is always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own. Yes, somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual. Knife. It looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with this knife that Mr. Rell is holding. Ouch! What's wrong, Detective? My stomach started to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed. Just keep your mind on the case, alright? Okay, what about this gunshot wound? Shot in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in a cart house. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That means... Wait, burn marks? A round grows very hot as it is discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, Mr. Rell must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. You sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently, this detective has as much common knowledge as your everyday marsupial. Man. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired. However, Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory, in any case. What a crazy way to go. Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right. I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Okay. I don't know if there's really much else to... I think we gotta start logicking. Possibly. Logic time! Ink stain. Mr. Faraday had ink on his left hand. Why is there ink on such a place anyway? However, he also had a fountain pen. What's that about? The fountain pen, Mr. Faraday, had an especially nice nib. Boy. That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Ooh, let's ask the lab guy. Detective Gumshoe, I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen. I see. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand. I think it's fair to assume he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well. Okay, if you say so, pal. Just happy to be here. Okay. Oh, wait. There was another thing. I actually just guessed this on my own. But, neat and tidy table, plastic bags. There's plastic bags on the table. There is a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table. And yet, a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another reason? I believe it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Eek, please get that blood away from me, pal. Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag? Hold on, let me ask the lab guy. Alright, please hurry. Wait till you get a load of this, pal. It's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said they didn't find anything in or on the bag either. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. Okay, if you say so. I leave it in your hands, pal. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No, we can't conclude that quite yet. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic in this case. In fact, there is actually a contradiction that shows there is another possibility. No way, pal, really? I suppose I will just have to show you the conflict in this crime scene. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I think I might have to deduce something. Maybe. Deduced. Oh, he's holding it in his right hand. Ah, we're deducing. Yes. The pen. Eureka! Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene. Hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. Yeah, the wound is very strange. I feel like would a gunshot necessarily bleed like that? Does that usually happen with gunshot wounds like that? Would it necessarily just leave a mark with no burns? Yes, it would. Okay, makes sense. I always thought there was some kind of like cauterizing effect with that, but I don't know. I can't say I've ever known what it looks like IRL. The facts add up to one conclusion and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Someone else? Plastic bags scattered on the floor and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. Burns are from the point-blank discharge of a gun rather than the bullet itself. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, gunpowder, right? That makes sense. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us. Here's the autopsy report. It is probable that Mr. Welsh survived for a short time after he was shot. Oh, is that true? Huh. Yeah, I've also never held a gun. I don't know which hand would be my would be my go-to hand for a gun. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from his stabbing. Although you might want to keep your good hand free for like other things if you have a gun. You might not want to be left with your right hand. Like if you're in a tense situation, you might not want your right hand to be not free. That does make sense, actually. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from his stabbing. Interesting. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case. Are you sure we know everything? Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and then tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. It's all very clear and simple. There's absolutely no margin for doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Huh, are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you? That you don't want to believe it's true? Urgh. It's alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is. Don't worry, I will. I'm about to throw hands with a child. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rell survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. And Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should look for any holes in her theory. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous when Mr. Rell survived for a short time. Okay, we pretty much got that. Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. That seems a little weird. I feel like as your life is fading, you're not thinking about grabbing a thing. That seems a little odd to me. That seems like a little bit of narrativizing. I don't know what you would call that. So you believe that the dying Mr. Rell stole the knife from Mr. Faraday? Mr. Rell became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. Okay, I think you just watched too many movies. So the two men struggled, and in the end, Mr. Rell was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of this room is a testament to their struggle. Yes, my logic is perfectly sound. Can you really say that it's perfect? What are you insinuating? Nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide without further inquiry. One must be clear and precise. So if you could append that statement to your testimony. To your testimony? We're not in court. They struggled, and Mr. Rell used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday. Wait, there was no sign of a struggle, though. Where did we hear that? It would be... Oh, yeah, Detective Gumshoe's... I guess we can't read it. But, yeah, he didn't hear any sign of a struggle. That's the important part. If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Detective Gumshoe testified that he heard absolutely nothing. Huh, you place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of argument, let's say that there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Rell get his hands on the knife? Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It is not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rell saw a chance and took it out at some point. So, what you're saying is this. Mr. Rell took a chance when he saw the opportunity, and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed. Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? If I could actually make it. Well, wait, something doesn't add up. Oh, really? It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rel after being stabbed. Notes pertaining, okay. Oh my god, that's so much text. Faraday died with a knife stab to the head chest. The shot from the stabbing caused instantaneous death. No, he would have died instantaneously from the stab, right? Yeah. According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could not possibly have fired the gun after that. Ooh, you got me. But of course. Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If you suppose that Mr. Rel attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rel. Therefore, Mr. Rel must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense. Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Franziska. I just wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible, before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid. And still expect to discover the truth at the crime scene afters you. Franziska, you've still got a ways to go. Oh, she's not happy about that. What are you talking about? Mr. Faraday died instantly, and the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in this scene. The contradiction here in this crime scene is the order the bodies fell. If we're arguing over who died first, basically. Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Yeah, you can literally just have a gathering of the minds wherever you want. It doesn't have to be in a courtroom. You can even be right at the crime scene. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rel. Then the wounded Mr. Rel found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and Mr. Rel died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which their bodies are piled. No! Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rel's. Therefore, Mr. Rel must have died before Mr. Faraday. Impossible! Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must solve is... No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth. What now? I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. And that it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent. She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. What happened, part 2? It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rel's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. I just know that Franziska's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence. Okay. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rel's. Indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. Are you sure about that, Franzi? What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rel while holding both the knife and revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rel grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Rel wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, that is more than possible. Yes, it's possible, but... Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got. Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony. I don't see any point to that, but do as you please. That fact indicates that they attacked each other at the same time from close range. Oh, but we know that the gun wasn't used at point blank range, though. It had to be at least a yard or two away. A few yards, yeah. I'm absolutely destroying this child's logic. It's literally child's play. It's so easy. So you believe that they killed each other at close range? Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes. The firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rell and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Ah! Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rell moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation. What a completely foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool. If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill? Huh? Who? Oh, interesting. Are we going with neither one did? Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we acclaim attacked first. Thus, there can be only one explanation. There was a third person here. Didn't think of that, huh? It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. Neither man, dead man's sibling. The third person is the real culprit. Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct? Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in the crime? Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup, made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is the piece of evidence that proves there's the third person involved? The bag? Somebody threw around those bags, right? The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground, meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. Ah! Looks like we've still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes. Oops. Oh, hi. Whoa, look at them all stanced up like this. What the heck's up with you, pal? Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. What? What? What's the meaning of this? Huh, Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare! That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that that was all a giant lie. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. Yeah, exactly. Blessings for the week, for the coming week. What? See, Mr. Bag? So, I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir. It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. I feel like there's other things we should focus on right now, Francie. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Was that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth, or so help me. There's a whole bunch of bags, and the judge's name Mr. Bag. Wait, what? No way. Is he? Does he have a name? He should. I haven't lied to anyone, sir, honest. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time. Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? I feel like... Probably motive. Why would he want to do that? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact? You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm telling you, I am not lying. The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy, because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. You're serious, aren't you? Fine, you amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Are you sure? You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I can never hold a grudge. Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sir. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect after all. Time to get absolutely destroyed in the marketplace of ideas. It was about a week ago. Okay, this one's pretty easy. We're just gonna press the last statement. You're basically just saying no. No. You call your explanation perfect. No. Is it not to your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, baby, let's go, pound it. Alright, if you could clear up this one thing for me. We need a motive. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rel? Whoops. His motive for killing Rel? Like I would know. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred, wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. I love her, she's so funny. What? But that's impossible, she must know something. Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing. Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh, would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a perfect, truly perfect explanation. I know, right? She's so cute. Yes, she's very good at. She really humbles him, doesn't she? Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a record to change for being upon karma? Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you shut this rude woman up. I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. There's no one out there without motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity, and set up to look like they had killed each other. I wonder if that's really true. If there's no one out there with a grudge against both men, I think there probably is, actually. Okay, let's wait. Let's look at this. Oh, CCU, huh? Wait, what about this guy? He's definitely a piece of this puzzle. What's going on here? What's going on here? The second KG8 incident, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? Yeah, also, he was here, wasn't he? And he talked to her and privately. What was that about? What's that about? Huh? Easy. Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG8 incident, and a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. You know him, don't you? That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Rel, and the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect. Make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time. And why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial, or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way, come on, Detective Bad, you've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then, are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Sorry about that. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer it up. I spaced out while on duty or the like. Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Detective Bad. Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, Miss Yu, there's something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? Poor guy, man. He's almost been I didn't realize he had almost been thrown in jail once. I mean, I'm glad he probably made it out of it okay, judging by what we know. But still, to have set these two men up and make it look like they killed each other. If there's one thing I cannot forgive, it's the desecration of the dead. Wait. Oh, I was trying to talk to her. So, what did you want to ask me about? The current case of the murdered Cadopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG8 incident. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusations. Bold choice, yeah, they really went new directions with this. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? Remember when we were talking about like like AA like Ace Attorney Ace Attorney 7 should open with like Phoenix Wright's funeral. Like I think that's the only twist I could possibly think of that would actually shake things up for the series at this point. They gotta not be afraid to kill off a really important character or like throw someone in jail. Like they really gotta do a bold move, I think, if they ever make an AA7. Baseless outbursts are useless both in and outside of the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here. I think you could stop making that ultra serious face in front of me. If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG8 incident she is. I'm guessing, where is it? Oh, it's this, yeah. It's just a newspaper. Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG8 incident. That file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG8? Through the victim. Your connection to the KG8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case? Sorry, but we're not related. What? Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help it. Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. KG8 incident. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU. As I thought, and she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial. Yeah, by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence had been tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along. How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know, which is why I don't want it to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KG8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Manny Cochin. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi, and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything from this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. Fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh my god. I kind of love her. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around, and people in the gallery claim that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Yeah, honestly, yes, very much so. Why would he show up just to taunt her? That's cruel. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go. I'm making no such face. Did you know? Laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. See ya. She's fun. She's fun. The KG8 incident and the murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that detective, Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over. But whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name is Miles Edgeworth. God, he's such a nerd. Yeah. Boo-doo-doo-doo-da-da-da-da-doo. Phew. You know her emoji game is incredible. You say something serious in the group chat and she just hits you with LMFAO crying emoji. I know, right? She puts like a minimum 4 emojis in every single text. Minimum. So true, so true. Okay, I'm gonna take a short break and then we'll continue on from middle part 1, I guess it is. I guess we have, do we have 2 middle parts this time again? Oh no, it's just 1 middle part. But that's fine. We'll do a middle part. That'll round us out for tonight. That sounds like a good. That sounds like the move. Okay, break command. My mentor was revealed to be a corrupt murderer. Rip bozo. Oh. Good. Beak. Haha. Yeah. I love that. Okay. See you in a little bit. Well, not that one. Sorry, this one. I'm not ending. Okay. See you in a bit. Okay, hi, I'm back. Hey. So I was getting ready to come back, and then my water that I drank went down the wrong pipe, and I was just sputtering and fighting for my life for a bit. I'm okay, don't worry. But yeah. That's why I was a little delayed, but we're good. Everything's good. Okay, I'm like 99% good. I'm still kind of sputtering a little bit, but I'm fine. Okay, let's start this thing. We'll save the progress. Why the heck not? Thank you. Alright, so we're back outside the courtroom. Sir, what is to become of the trial in the Cadopian embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely. Ha! Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell? What an outrageous circus that has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus, right, sir? I grow weary of this topic. Edgeworth, I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue the investigation in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection. Yikes, man. Papa, who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I, we're competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree? If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue. In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Franziska, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir. Of course, Papa. The DL6 case, yeah, there's definitely some parallels, isn't there? Franziska, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was built on that scruffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished. I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth. I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with the case. Looks like Gumshoe is here. It wasn't me, I tell ya, I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I understand, so let's just calm down, okay, buddy? I doubt I'll get anything useful from the detective while he is this agitated. Oh, hey. Hey, it's Callisto. Hey, what's going on, girl? Miss you. Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Franziska von Karma, and I am about to become the successor to the family name. About to? I guess that means that for now you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. Oh, she's so mad. Why are you whipping me? Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask you. Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that to ask of you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with super serious atmospheres. Apparently, they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. Ooh, I feel so much better now. So what do you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. Girls who say who. Literally. She's perfect. You were with Detective Bad? Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. Detective Bad. So I take it that you are acquaintances with Detective Bad. Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa. But how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. You're making that serious face again. The horrors are indescribable, but you must stay silly. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded pride every time I see him. Joel Pride? The way she talks about that as if she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. Hello, Joel Pride. It's been a while since we've seen you. It's always a pleasure. I see. He did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Conceptual Joel idea, Joel behind the prosecutor's bench. Honestly, yes. I bet I could make that, honestly. But last time I tried to upload a 7TV emote, it didn't work. I don't know if I don't have permission or something, but I tried to upload a couple and they never seemed to work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm like banned for it or anything. I just... Maybe somebody has to turn it on or something. I don't know. I think somebody has to approve it manually. I think they have like manual moderators who approve stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't up to snuff or something. I wanted to add Walter White staring at a painting. I tried to add that, but it didn't work. But other people have done it for me and I've added it to the channel. So if you do something, feel free to add it to 7TV and I'll put it on my channel. I have a couple like that actually. Hang on, let me look. There are a couple of 7TVs that were specifically made for us. Can I find them? Where's the one I was looking for? Yeah, Trucy Stare. That's a bespoke one. Uravity made that for me. If you guys know her, she hasn't been around in a little bit, but she made that for us. And there's like one more, I think. Oh, wait. Isn't there You Found It as well? I think there's You Found It as well. So yeah, we've been a little bit prolific on 7TV. Wait, has anybody used... Let me see here. Let me look at the page for this. Hey, wait. Yo, check it out. Check it out. 3 channels. Trucy Stare has been used on 3 channels. This is getting some mileage. We're not the only channel that's using Trucy Scare. That's so cool. Trucy Stare, you will always be famous. Time of the murder. You claim that at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. but Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody, when she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. Mackerel. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Mackerel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah, once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that I made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu, he had just made that up. He made it up? Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there is no footage of him sneaking into the Cadopian embassy itself. Hold on for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you knew he was not the real Yatagarasu, and that he was just another cold-blooded killer, and you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. Is that supposed to be a? Is that? Yeah. What? Yeah. He still has a right to defense. He has a right to a lawyer, dude. This really is the dark age of the law. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job it is to cover for criminals. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable, but they are no match for us Von Karmas. I don't believe it. You're serious. Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry, forgive my rashness. Miss Yu, I was wondering if you might tell me about the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then, perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? The funny, I love it. I love this. This dynamic is so funny. Because obviously Franziska thinks she's the most enlightened person in the room right now, but everyone else, rightly so, just sees her as a sassy lost child. Which she literally is. It's just very funny. Franziska, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully or we may be soon by no. There, I chose carefully, just like you wanted. He's got you there. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Boom. Of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And so, in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say, I had never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarasu deals in information, namely in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the like of companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now, thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Yu. Should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Oh, is he open to talk? He's calmed down a little bit. Detective Gumshoe. Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. Youch! As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the evidence is fully over, and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so, even had you not requested me to, detective. Motive for murder. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late, and that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the exact same thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. That's funny. I like that lore. How pathetic for the detective to be compared to a mere school child. During the recess. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from whom? Earlier at around 3:20, and from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn, so I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet, something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you on guard duty. Ow! Your words sting worse than your whip, pal. I don't know why I said that so slowly, but it's fine. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Next step. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, is there anything else you'd like to tell me? No, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage. Wait, you can't do that. There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bad, so, you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Hands off, pal. Just show it to us already. Yow! Annual bonus check within. $5 total. Except there is no check inside. You've had your luck, now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know? So that envelope is really special to me. Now give it back. You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later. How could you? That's interesting. A $5 bonus check. Yeah, what's the $5 about? What was the point of even sending it in the mail? What was the point of even writing the check? I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there is one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Don't call him that! I must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. Okay. Examine? No, I just want to talk to him. Wait, what? What do I have to present him something? One moment. Do 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 do. Oh, okay. The testimony. His testimony, actually. I want to know what he spent the $5 on. Probably ramen noodles. Dude was like flat broke. He was probably surviving on like one slice of bread per day. God, dude cannot catch a break. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. Then you are also claiming that no one else... Oh my god. You are also claiming no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct? Yep, not even a single ant passed through the hall while I was on duty. Oh my god, yeah, he's got his shoes on it. That's the... Oh my god. You good, man? You good? You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself. Huh? Oh, but it's true. I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so, given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. Woo! Oh, hello. Ah, you! Oh my god. What? This cruel child. How could you have not noticed that coming? Wasn't that the child I changed money for earlier? Thanks, that's exactly what I needed. Get his ass. Kids can sometimes be so cruel. It looks like she dropped something. Maybe we should arrest the girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. I believe I've asked all that I need to of this man. Now for Detective Bad and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct, the judge or that scruff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Franziska? Hey, didn't she drop something? She dropped something as she was running away, but it's gone now. How strange. Oh. Is the judge in here? No, I guess not. The sweet roll. Oh. Wait, how did she have all the money for that? It's like $6 for one of those things. She only had $1 on her. Over here? Ah, here we go. So, did you see anything else? No, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, you're that new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right? Gosh, that's such a waste. My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. Yeah, okay, yeah, these prices are messed up. Hot dog, $7. Beef jerky, $9. Ham sandwich, $8. Orange juice, $9. And it's like a glass. Milk, $7. Swiss rolls, $6. Good God, man. That's messed up. And I'm Manfred von Karma's daughter, Franziska von Karma. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see, Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Miss I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh, very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Yeah. Fast foods and milk. The real robbery is these prices, yeah. I wonder what the deal is with these drinks. I wonder, they're probably like $8 each too, right? What about the earlier testimony? I'd like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. Alright, after all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. The Costco hot dog is $1.50. Honestly, that's like that's kind of the go. I wish I could, I wanna eat a Costco hot dog one of these days, but I don't have a membership. Can somebody please get me in on their membership and get me a Costco dog? Just mail it to me in the forest. That'd be great. And that's a hot dog and a drink. Man, how do they do it? What? Sorry. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movements. Okay, cool. What are we looking at here? Justice Judgment. Sam's Club hot dog? Oh. Are they like similar or the same? He's making a most ridiculous looking face. That may be, but at least he doesn't look like someone who would tell a lie on purpose. I suppose, but to Avant Karma, evidence is the only thing that carries any weight. Of course. At any rate, this poster seems to be of no use. Okay. Wait, so it started an investigation. I guess I'm just gonna talk to the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Sam's Club is like Costco's cousin. Yeah, I know Walmart owns it. I know it's like Walmart's version of Costco, basically. Well, either way, where else are you gonna get cheap eats? That's pretty good. 150. That's really awesome. I want to try the Costco pizza too. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well, you may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh, I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Ha 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 ha, foreshadowing. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look through the window at the end of this hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, Detective Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it. Wait, but he had no money. That's a contradiction in his testimony. Dude's broke. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. Yeah, honestly, that's the most appalling thing. That's the real murder here. Our wallets. It was really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Apparently, this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm going to find out from His Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I am sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Anytime, Mr. Edgeworth, anytime. The judges in this country seem rather friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Okay. What about here? What's this guy all stanced up about? Did you find something, officer? I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on, just a little more. Is there no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue? Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Damn. We only talked to one guy. Have you found any suspicious fingerprints, officer? Nope, just the fingerprints of those involved with the case, sir. I guess we know all the players in this case then, huh? It would appear that way, but I have the nagging feeling that we're missing something. And I suspect that what we're missing is right here in the crime scene somewhere. Our lordship. Oh, hey, there's something weird here. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Look at are these freaking ants? What? 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 What the heck is going on here? What are these black speckles? I believe it's a pile of ants eating away. Oh, that detective. He claims that not a single ant slipped by him. And yet here is a whole hill of them. What are you hitting me for? As a replacement for that pathetic detective. Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pay cuts. Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating. And the look and sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll. Kay! It was you! That grubby little child's running around the courtroom, letting bugs in. Miles Edgeworth, the courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times. Oh, it wasn't me that dropped food on the ground. The courthouse must be kept clean. Oh, hey, here's another grubby little handprint. The dirt on this bench, it smells like some sort of sweet substance. I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame. Calm down, Franziska. Now take a good look. Doesn't this smudge kind of look like a handprint to you? I suppose it could be. Which means that perhaps we can lift the print of the person who sullied this bench. I see. And then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob. You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to? Sir, yes, sir. I've got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. Wait, what? Gumshoe? And there you have it. Yes, I suppose so. Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bench. I sense that you will be using this information you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Okay, what about up here? What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash made of rubber. I feel like I've seen something like this before. Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there is a litterer running loose inside this courthouse, it's simply unforgivable. Stop with the whipping! It's not like it was I who littered. Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin. Let's look over here. So that window on the other side belongs to the men's restroom. I can't see it. At your height, I'm not surprised. Oh, gosh. I guess short people have feelings too. That's a good line. The ants are hard at work carrying their food home. It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size. Well, if you want to carry the mighty Von Karman name and not be squished under it, you'd better work extra hard, just like these ants. The same goes for you, Franziska. What about this plant? What's the matter? I pricked myself with one of this cactus's needles. Didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were to hit your head on the head on one of these? Oh my god. Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated. Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on this windowsill is completely related. Uh-huh. Oh, well then I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related. What do we got here? Wait, I want to examine this. Oh, we can look at it in closer detail. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Just lovely. What will they think of next? Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. 1 packet for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these for $6. They're awfully overpriced. The lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if that Swiss roll the little girl dropped is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. Nothing unusual. Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess? You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2 after all. We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have 6 on me. If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together. If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it. I feel like there's something more here. I feel like they wouldn't bother modeling all this stuff if it wasn't. Wait. Okay, I have to logic. It's time for logic. Swiss roll crumbs. Vending machine. We have to do it officially. Beef jerky for more than a sandwich is kind of wild. Yeah, that is kind of wild. Although beef jerky is pretty expensive, even just in the grocery stores, right? These bits of chocolate and cake, could they not have come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell a thing like that? It may not seem like the right venue. However, it is being sold right over here. The vending machine. Ah, I see. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. 2 for $6, talk about expensive. Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside, the fact that the cake crumbs and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Naturally. After all, I'm here, aren't I? Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench. Ah. Oh, how could he have not cleaned up after himself? How utterly despicable. Don't you dare whip me again. It wasn't I who made the mess in the first place. Anyway, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe who bought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts. A contradiction? Where? I think another look at the special courthouse vending machine is in order. Oh, okay. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Oh, we gotta deduce this. Oh, Gumshoe's bonus, his $5 bonus. He spent his whole bonus on a Swiss roll. About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor. Meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow. Did he steal Kay's dollar? Surely he wouldn't do that. The detective should not have been able to purchase a pack, and yet he did. The question is how? Honestly, yeah, free Swiss rolls. As many Swiss rolls as you can eat. Yeah, he wouldn't do that, you're right. I'm sorry for suggesting that. Thank you for everything you've done, Mr. Gumshoe, and I'm sorry. Alright. Okay, we're going back into logic mode again. These two things were next to each other, so they must be connected somehow. The piece of trash and the cactus. This pink rubbery substance. I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a popped balloon. Yo, Cable 2, thank you so much. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. Yay. Welcome on in, everyone. It's me again. It's your pal Hazel. Hi, Null. Thank you for the raid. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you have a headache. I hope you feel better soon. Raid message. Woo! This is fun. This is actually the first time a lot of these characters are meeting. This is at the time this case came out, it was chronologically the first one. So actually, you don't need any prior knowledge. Well, technically. You can enjoy this one even if you're a newcomer. The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. Balloon piece data jotted down my organizer. Okay, I did that. I am definitely still missing something. Oh, you know what? Bad has been standing here the whole time and I never talked to him. That's my bad. Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire about. This guy has a rockin' theme, by the way. Hey, how about you doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself. Plus, I still hold investigative authority. Got good, Gumshoe. So, I heard you were the one who told for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Faraday. That guy was just accused, you know? I just knew something was gonna happen. My detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did you. You couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor with it. Oh. Franziska, I think you need to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. I used the phone on the first floor. Called the precinct. I told them to send somebody over. And that detective's the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad. Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. After he got here, we came out to these defendant lobbies together. As we entered the hallway, we ran into you. She told us that Faraday was really mad, and that he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something. And that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. And around what time did all of that take place? Let's see. I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway. Not once. Oh, and how can you make such a claim? One of the guards at this floor's main lobby swore to me he didn't. If the detective never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to? That's simple. He must have not gone into lobby number 2, just as I suspected. You and I. Haha, you and I. Haha. We were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It would seem that I am still missing some key pieces of information. Gunshot. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? Yeah. I heard it when I was in defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards lobby number 2 together with you. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed the big lug who was just walking around in the hall and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies. In that order. That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right? Yeah, I guess it does, little miss. I am about to become a prosecutor very soon. You will treat me with the dignity I deserve or else. You wave that thing around anymore, and I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss. You wouldn't dare. Haha. Just joking. This is a real unstoppable force and movable object situation. Detective Bad was really something if he can make Franziska behave. Are we about done? Is there anything else I should ask him about? What should I ask him about? Time you heard the gunshot? I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again. I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding. But I got the sense he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him, or he'd be late. And just as I thought that, bang. The sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste. You were just standing there last I checked. Oh, come on. All you're doing is standing in front of this door doing nothing. Beat me to it. Huh. I get the sense that he is somewhat investigating this crime scene. Or rather, that he is keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Detective Bad, may I ask that you cooperate us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place. Fine then, be obstinate. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles. You may no longer be willing to help us, however. Hey, that's one of the only times he call. She doesn't usually call him just Miles, right? You may no longer be willing to help us. However, may I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation? Do as you like. Investigation complete. I believe I now have a very firm grasp on what happened here. Firmly grasp it. Well, I do too. All right, Francisca, would you care to share what conclusions you've come to? Yeah, he's really grabbing for that $5 bill. Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know. We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well, but first we need to pay His Honor a visit to correct his testimony. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony to see how it stands up. Do you doubt me? Am I your new suspect? In a sense, I suppose you could say that. Even you, a judge, is nothing but a common witness before a Von Karma. Silence in the courtroom. Silence, I said. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred Von Karma, Miles Edgeworth, and Miss Genius Prosecutor. You bit your tongue again, didn't you? As a defender of the law, I can never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want. Very well then, your testimony, if you please. Oh man, we're throwing down with a judge now. This game is all topsy-turvy. During the recess, I went to the restroom. There is a window on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machines. Yeah. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. This is honestly the most useful he's been in the entire series. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Your Honor, wow, you'd almost think that we're in court right now. We're literally in the courthouse doing testimony stuff. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? Oh. I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I got caught up in the excitement. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to spoil your fun now. How are we gonna spoil his fun, exactly? Went to the restroom, there's a window on the hallway side. I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines. And then he says, but when I was about to exit, he completely disappeared. However, that it is possible that he just was out of view. Yeah, he does his job of disturbing each other. Yeah. There's something. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to press, but that's fine. We'll get some more info. He disappeared, but Your Honor, didn't you just say? I saw that detective buying something from the vending machines. Why, yes, I did. Okay. But the bench yeah, that wouldn't have worked. He looked into the hallway from the restroom and over the courtyard, did he? Okay, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna present the handprint showing that he was definitely there, sitting there eating his Swiss roll. What was that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? And don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony? Huh. If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I myself never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. Miles Edgeworth, it's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life. This is what some people may say is the pot calling the kettle black. Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me. What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who is the culprit? The party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness. If you must know, the uncouth bench sullier has already been placed under arrest, thanks to your testimony, Your Honor. Oh, well, that's good, but who was it? We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench, namely Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints. Not happy with committing murder, he had to go and dirty the courthouse too? Guilty. Your Honor, please calm down. While it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine, and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true. Oh, but I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? Heh, it is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up into the wall. This is the worst, and of course it's cops and detectives doing it. They're the ones who are disrespecting the courthouse. At around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out of that window. No, I knew I shouldn't have used her height as evidence. But basically what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom. Then, it seems that you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window, yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight. What? Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Sorry. I didn't mean to say it with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try saying it once. Here, let me try that again. Hold it! Is there something of value that you'd like to say? Yes, actually, there is. I remembered something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time. Even if we overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more info, the better in a perfect investigation, right? Boom. I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean that Detective Gumshoe was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of the gunshot. He was in the room. He has an alibi. Come on, man. This changes nothing. Ngurk. How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time? I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words. Eek, I'm sorry. But honestly, I thought that sound was just a noise popper until now. Now that he mentions it, right before we restarted the trial, he did talk about that. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Oh, I forgot about that. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway, and whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details. Okay, suppose it's possible. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into that hallway? After I called for a recess, I handed the change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened? Yes, that sounds about right. I heard an hour. Didn't somebody say something about an hour? Just as I expected. What were you expecting? And I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you just made now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. Alright, if you insist. Let's see, I looked into the hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. We have a different testimony, don't we? Detective Bad's testimony. He heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to begin. He's saying 20 minutes before the trial re-began. What? I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Gods, I've been overruled? Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred von... Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you I didn't read any of that. Sorry, Francie. I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Francesca. Don't talk back to me, unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you need a stepladder or four to accomplish that. Owned. Mr. Edgeworth. My ears are not that far gone yet, I'll have you know. I could still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own two ears. Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be... Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bang, the loud sound of a gunshot. The sound of the gunshot. We keep returning to this point of contention. And that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what that gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. Wait, what was it? Oh, it was the balloon popping. Oh. Haha, okay. I found this object in the hallway earlier. What is that pink substance? It may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record? Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. What? Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at that time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, Detective Lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure out the rest on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. Yeah, honestly, I really love these sprites. This is like a rare treat. We don't see this very often. What manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. We like the judge. We defend the judge here. He might not be very good at his job, but he's clearly not a bad person. If it was me, I would have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Care to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. I'm to smash, honestly, yeah. I want to trade these coins with you. That's it. That balloon that girl was holding. It explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Oh no. That giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do. What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he is released. Wait, there are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we were just clearing his name. What we just did now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. Oh, okay. What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal, I didn't do it. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm literally the judge. And I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he is completely innocent of this crime. I guess so. Whose judge is it anyway? Yeah. What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony... Yow! My whip will object loud and clear. If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? I got you, pal. Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. While I was on duty, I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. He's still singing the same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. Banger. I know he's lying, and it's time I pulled the information I need out of him. Okay, so there's one obvious statement that really stands out. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. There's definitely something there. You claim to have been in that hallway the whole time. However, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door to lobby number 2, pal. Well, if the question is, was he in front of the door the whole time? That does not seem to be true. Very well then, and what exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of that door without moving an inch. Oh? Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door, just like I was ordered not to. Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we are all in shock and in awe of your utter stupidity. Scruffy, if you're gonna lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Gosh, she's whipping so much. But I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. And until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away. Well, we have literally fingerprints. Proving that not to be true. That's a slam dunk right there. I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things. The courthouse special sweet rolls, right, pal? Huh, precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench? Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate, slovenly pig. Eek. I promise to clean it up later, I swear. Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door? If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Ack! Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands? Ouch! It appears that Franziska's whip can do more damage than my words alone can. Alright, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. I clearly saw you buy a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Okay, I'm sorry for lying, but that's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back. That last statement, it may sound like it makes sense. However, there is something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us? Huh? Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal. How did you get that much money? Honestly, that's the most suspicious part. If only that were true, Detective Gumshoe. But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else. Detective Gumshoe, I am sure you're aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct? Huh? Remind me again, pal? That vending machine out in the hallway is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed your $5 annual bonus check. I can't believe we're actually doing this. Let's go. Isn't that right? Oh. Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that? I told you I bought it myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in the hallway with me, so there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Yeah, why is he being humiliated for being broke? That's honest. That's kind of cruel. Wait, don't tell me. You've got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you? Correct. As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait, you do? Of course I do. What? How? What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway? What indeed? Oh, actually. Yeah, I just remembered. We actually, we have this, right? What the heck is that? I knew you didn't really have anything. You prosecutors are all the same, always lying to people. You should stop, you know. Wait, really? I thought that proved that... I'm being strung around. Oh, Swiss roll dropped by a mysterious young girl. Yeah, okay. Hey, you showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal. Ah, I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls. What, if you didn't buy it, then that means you must have stolen it, you thief. What, I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You start out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal. I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. And in that case, what does that say about you, detective? This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone. Oh, there were 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them, but you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. I ate both of them. Oh, hello. Oh, what the heck? She's squaring up to fight? It would appear that we've caught you at last. Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. The dodge. Let's go. That was skillful. He used his iframes there. It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow? I have a name and it's K. K what? K Faraday. Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter? I'm not a you, I'm K. K. You know, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave big nasty bruises like the way you do. Well, then you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister. Gummy? I'm not a you, I can never be her. That's good. My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. What a cute nickname you've given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong. Okay. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Rawr. She's fun. Now then, Kay. Oh my god, this is straight up a gremlin child. This little goblin of a child. This little stray cat of a child. Warrior Cats reader, literally. I know she's playing Neopets the second she gets back home. Okay. I wonder if I should feed her something. I do have food, actually. Take that. Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down. Oh, a Swiss roll. It really belongs to you, though, doesn't it? Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. About that. Your father, he's... don't you say another word, pal. She doesn't know yet. Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. Oh, she knows, actually. I overheard the guards talking. About how he's not here anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna... Oh, honey. It's alright. Let it all out. Your father just passed away, after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. This child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Ah, you're right. Sorry about that. Kay, here, how about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes? Aww. My cravat! Don't blow your nose on that! I feel better now, thanks. You little... Kay, are you going to be alright? Yep, I'm already alright. Somehow I highly doubt that, but I'm not going to push it. I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers. And you're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right? That's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm still gonna keep all my promises. You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping all the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry, just for you. Thank you very much, lady. Huh, it's nothing. I'm only telling the truth after all. Franziska's like, finally, somebody who takes me seriously around here. It would appear that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Okay, your father. Kay, what kind of person was your father? Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world. So, to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are, in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals. Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls. Oh. I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard. I see. And what have you been working hard on? I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together. A promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay? Sure, okay. It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero, just like your father. I'm gonna try. Hey, Kay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero, too. Yeah, you're really cool, too, Gummy. Yeah, aren't I, Kay? What is it with the two of them? I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero, too. Yes, and thanks to your oh-so-heroic testimony, you almost painted that detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that. Gummy is not a bad man, okay? That poor judge, he's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay. Yeah, we're friends. In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? Okay, Gumshoe. So I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier? Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway, staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi. And when was this? Huh? Oh, before everything got crazy. How long were the two of you together? We only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own ways. That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during that recess. Isn't that right? Ah, you got me. I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister. Huh, very well then. I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later. Okay, Swiss rolls. Were you the one who bought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kay? Well, I didn't really have a lot of money, and I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one. Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct? Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister. Sure, but let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct? Well, that's why... Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? Yow! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question. Sorry about your ruffly thing. Yes, well, now that it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So here, you can have this one. Aw. But Daddy said, never take things from a stranger. It's one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, correct? Yeah, look, see? It's right here on this page. Never take things from a stranger. Never go anywhere with a stranger. Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me the next time we meet. Okay, Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers. Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with little Kay in that hallway. Oh, I told you to stop being mean to Gummy. Miles Edgeworth, there is still something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon? You still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us. Well, Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake. Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. So that's why. So what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, you can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. What? Here is what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious that the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Which piece of evidence proves that the Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? Oh, the promise notebook. Ah. Mr. Faraday and Kay's promise notebook. How does this explain anything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay. What a foolishly foolish fool's fool of a foolishly foolish reason for a fool. Yow. Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you? Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why. Yeah, that's a lot of... Yeah, she really crammed that sentence full. Gummy. At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? Guess there's no beating you now, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry, and that snack vending machine was taunting me. But all the cash you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in that machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up. I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll, but I only had about $1 in coins. So we pooled my $5 and her $1 together, and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together. But I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gummy said, Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me. So you didn't really get it from me, you know? He told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give it to Daddy. Who knew that Scruffy could be so considerate? Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together? Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. The sweet taste of that cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Kay, I believe this also belongs to you. Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So, just this once, I forgive you. But that balloon... I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll. Wow, you really got me there, pal. So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister. So you kicked me, is that it? You sure are a feisty one. I'm really sorry, mister. It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. Other than the bruise. But about this Swiss roll. Would it be alright with you if I held onto it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go? Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay? Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty, which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders. Oh, hi. Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You have just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean? It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss Yu. I'm getting lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people. What? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy. Oh, and what have we here? What is a child doing here in the courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child in. Miss Callisto, you! That girl is Mr. Faraday's. I know. So what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her, to speak nothing of getting underfoot. Yeah, literally, what the heck? I suppose you're right, however, as long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, Detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but, you see, isn't it obvious that could only be the detective? He is the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. But the investigation is far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? Callous to you? Oh, that's really good. I like that. I suppose it is. Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Oh, Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. Down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So, we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all of the circumstantial evidence. The investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. To be continued! Woo! Let's go! Oh my god. That was a lot. That was fun. That was a good time. It always is, right? Well, the nice thing is we got basically right into the midpoint of this case. We did 2 chapters and we got 2 more. So I was able to just slice it right in half. That's pretty good. We'll see how long the second half goes. But yeah, that's gonna be all for me tonight, I think. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been grinding, even though I only did 2 streams in a row. I only did 2 days in a row. That's fine, though. Stop sleeping on investigations, everyone. Come on, there's the good stuff in here. This is the Ace Attorney game you're looking for. It's good stuff. I really hope Gumshoe gets out of this okay. Yeah, I did build the Legos, that's true. I had a pretty good week. This was a good week of streams. Yeah. Well, that was all I had for my schedule this week. I guess we'll have to see how it goes for next week. But we shall. I wonder if I'll start a new game next week. I thought about starting a new game this week, but then I ended up doing the charity event. So that was like my one other slot for this week. So I guess I have some space to fill with another game. I'll have to decide what it's gonna be though. Maybe it'll be another VN or something. I don't really have anything specific in mind, but you know, I always have a few dozen games in mind. It's just a matter of what one I'm thinking about in this moment. Buckshot roulette. See, this is the thing. I can't just play any old game, you know. I'm gonna lose all my subscriber if I do that. I had to some extent. To some extent, people have to, you know, be showing up for it, you know. Half a joke suggestion. Okay, fair enough. If you're being sincere, then maybe I'll look into it. Buckshot roulette. Oh, really? Does it look sick? Hang on. Oh, I kind of like this. It's a tabletop horror game that attempts to redesign the infamous game of Russian roulette, placing the traditional revolver with a proper 12-gauge pump-action shotgun. Huh. That's kind of interesting. 15 to 20 minute playthrough. Okay, well, honestly, this could be a one-off, you know. That's interesting. 120 USD. Huh. Five stars, 1966 reviews. Oh gosh, what have you done, Dustbird? I might have to try this out. Maybe we can have like a variety night. Remember when I did that for the Games for Gaza fundraiser thing? It's taken off a bit. It's got recent one-off potential before some reacts and an endless mode for challenge. That's cool. Yeah, remember I did all those indie games? I just tried out a bunch of indie games from this one fundraising bundle. It was kind of cool, actually. I played some interesting stuff. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. Maybe I'll have to... The only problem is I have to, like, plan when I'm going to play it beforehand, so I have to go through the bundle and, you know... But yeah, if there's any suggestions for like cool indie stuff from like itch.io and stuff like that, I'm definitely open to doing like a variety night. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I'm definitely open to that. Indie game fun. Short indie game fun. Milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk? I've never heard of that. That's a real name? How do I even search this? It's a horror game. Interesting. Perfect Vermin. Oh gosh, you guys are giving me such dark stuff. Not that that's a problem. I've definitely played stuff like that before. Remember that Paratropic game I played, or Paratopic, whatever? That game was I kind of enjoyed that game. I remember that one pretty clearly. Yeah, that was a cool game. That was a good one. I did 2 playthroughs of it and felt like I pretty much saw the gist of it, but there was definitely other stuff that I didn't even see in it. Yeah, you did recommend that, didn't you? Yeah, that was a good call. I enjoyed that. Maybe I'll look through that in. So I have like so many bundles on itch.io because I just buy one whenever somebody does one of those big fundraisers. So I could definitely just go through one of those again and just find stuff. We could make fun out of it. We could do that. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I'll start looking into that. Whew, not right now though. I'm gonna go rest now. I hope you all have time to get itchy. yeah, I'm gonna go hang. I'm gonna go rest. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. I hope the coming week treats you very well. And I will see you again very soon. I'll try to get the schedule up tomorrow, possibly. I don't have anything going on tomorrow, so yeah, we'll do that. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye. Thank you. Good night.